they are better than they were 50 years ago in most aspects.
That's a pretty low bar.
I want to piggyback on something.
You have to go back 50
This
years.
is really important. So,
we
folks,
have about 18 minutes.
give me 1 second. I promise I'll keep this brief, but it's very important.
Yeah.
This constitutional convention stuff,
Yeah.
very, very important stuff, because there's some great good that can come from this.
Right.
But there's tremendous evil. And I mean
Sure.
it from the bottom of my heart. The Koch brothers are adamant to
Yes,
pass
that's
a
right.
balanced budget amendment that will destroy every bit of our progress.
That's completely different
That's
from
national.
the state. That is the convention of conventions that they're trying to pull
Right,
together. This is
exactly.
not
But-
that at all.
No, I understand. I'm just trying to make sure that people, when they're assessing these things, they understand that there are many of these movements afoot. There are things like what she's speaking to, and then there's things that you'll hear from the other side. Just so you know, people like Sherrod Brown will vote for a balanced budget amendment because they're ignorant as hell. People like this are in our movement, and they will literally, you cannot get what we think, a New Deal. You cannot get that with a balanced budget amendment. You will die. That literally will bring it to a halt. It's a constraint that will destroy us. So these are things to be watching out for. As much as you want to hear what we're doing, us progressives are doing, you need to know what the enemy is doing as well.
But there's real things on the table, like in New York, where we have an environmental bill of rights that has passed through the state assembly with complete bipartisan support, and it has been stopped at the state senate level because the state senators are uninterested in working, because over 30 of them have been prosecuted for corruption in the past 10 years. Okay? So you have this legislation that actually has bipartisan support. You have really amazing platforms like the Movement for Black Lives platform that exists and has huge support if we can just figure out how to bring it into documents like our state constitution. And those are actually real. You know, one of the things that the Vote No campaign for the New York effort is banking on is they keep throwing out words that are like, they try to confuse people to get them to think that our state constitutional effort is the same as the one that you were just speaking of, which is not even close. And they do have things prepared for that. They don't have things prepared at the state level. And there are 44 states, you probably live in one, that has this question that will come up every 20 years because they were all set up by the same people. So we have a process in front of us, and we now have technology that we can take the process and use it for the good of the people instead of the other way around, because they didn't even think about the internet, and we've got it now. So, yeah.
Great.
Are you advocating, I mean, Citizens Union advocating the Constitutional Convention?
Absolutely,
ultimately?
yes.
And they have resources on there to explain?
Absolutely. If you go to betternewyork.citizensunion.org, that's our whole campaign site. I'll put it up on the board for you.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. And there's also another great new site that came up called sanctuarystate.ny.org that is with a group of people who actually, once we get the process rolling in New York, they want to take this knowledge throughout the United States so that we can capitalize on this ourselves, the people, and have the knowledge that we need to move forward instead of the darkness and misinformation. So I'll put that up.
Victor, you have a question?
Are we, is that the phase we're at
I
now?
just wanted to wrap up before we move to questions. So I kind of struggling through the primaries and later I noticed, you know, some of what you spoke, Steve, and that's a kind of lack of deep or especially academic level knowledge in the movement. I feel that we really need our progressive think tank, which in our age of technological boom, we could have a network. It doesn't have to be married to some Ivy League brick and mortar school, but a network of think tanks where when the movement needs an answer to a question, we could have a kind of one-point access to a group of academics and choose, the best person to answer this question, and they could come up with like a quick answer then it could go back to social media, they make a bunch of memes, throw them